What kind of quilt can we make using a 6.5-inch felt square and 5 LED mini lights? Something awesome! Please join us in a collaboration this month. We're creating a community quilt using LED lights and conductive thread. The individual blocks will be joined together with conductive tape and sewn into a large brightly lit quilt. This quilt will be shown at Ipsy Glow on October 29th. There's also an option to do a solo quilt block that comes with its own power supply. Please return your finished block by October 22nd if you'd like it to be part of the community quilt. So the quilt project has a little packet for you. In each packet for the community quilt, you will get one QR code. This will have the link that you can reach this video and others. You will also get one 6.5-inch felt square, one packet of 5 mini LED lights. Each LED light is a different color, and we'll show an example in a moment. You're just going to break these apart to get the individual lights. Your kit will also include 3 types of thread and a sewing needle. Be careful with the sewing needle. Remember, needles are sharp. Your threads include a black thread, a white thread, and those are to do your general sewing, and a gray conductive thread. This thread is what's going to connect your LED lights and make them glow. If you decided to do the solo kit, you will also receive a battery and a little battery holder on-off switch. So there's the battery holder, little on-off switch, and a little coin battery that'll be included in that kit. The kits you can pick up at some of our partners, including All Hands Active, Wonder Fools, and A2 Spark. You can also do that here at the Ann Arbor Hands-On Museum. Now, kits, we want you to get an adult to help with this project and get creative together. Using the 6.5-inch square, we want you to sew a design using the lights and your extras. You're going to need to sew the LED lights onto the felt using the conductive thread. Each LED light has a positive end and a negative end. I'm going to show that real quick. So it's very tiny, but there is a positive end and a negative end. So you're going to have to hold it way close up to your face to see that. And it'll be easier once you have your kit in front of you. As we're doing this project, we only want to connect our positive ends to our positive ends. So you're going to go through all 5 of your lights, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, on the positive side, connecting to your conductive thread. End that thread, then go through all the negatives, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure you have a long tail of thread, like my examples here, on the top and on the bottom. The top one is going to be your positive thread. That way it'll connect to your battery and help your lights light up. The bottom side is going to be your negative end. So you're going to want to go from the top, you can stitch, then go positive, 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 tie that off, start a new thread from the bottom, and go to your negatives, all 5. We want to make sure the tails on the top and the bottom part are as long as you can get it. 3 to 4 inches is best. If you can get longer, that's fine. But also, please be aware, you only have 3 yards of each of your threads. 3 yards of conductive, 3 yards of black and white thread. All of the quilts have been turned in, or all of the squares have been turned in. We're going to turn them into a big quilt, and that's why we need these tails. These tails are going to get connected together, and then we will light up row and row and row of beautiful squares. When designing and making your quilt square, make sure to leave 3/4 of an inch on all sides. So I've marked it here in white chalk. There's 3/4 of an inch, basically the width of my finger. Your finger will be a different size, so I recommend a ruler. Okay, on all sides. We need this as our seam allowance so we can sew everything together. Make sure you do not sew your bigger designs all the way to the top. For example, this one here has a little bit too much close to the edge. It might harm our sewing as we do that. So you think about that carefully when you're planning your design. You can see them glowing here. And if you count, you can see that I do not have all 5 lights on this one. I discovered that one of my lights just didn't work. That's okay. You don't have to use all 5. You can use 4. You can use 3. You just have only 5 to use when we give them to you. Just a couple more examples for you. And then don't forget to check out some of our other videos from helpful friends at All Hands Active, doing troubleshooting and sewing basic circuits. We also have some tips for success and basic sewing.